transcribed edition of Live from the Parlor, or shall I say, live from the parlor, because as you're watching this, I'm down in the Lone Star State, my hometown of Dallas, Texas, this week for a couple of gigs on Friday and Saturday, so Thursday I'm probably sitting down to dinner with my folks without an accordion. But anyway, I couldn't leave you guys hanging, so about 11 o'clock here on Tuesday, and record about an hour of tunes for you. So sit down, relax, push away the couch, break out the dancing shoes, roll up the carpet, and let's have fun. Let's get right to it. Here is Abel Bear's Don't Wake Me Up, Let Me Dream. Let me dream. Oh, what a wonderful dream. We're in a land of romantic joy, alone, and you are all my own. I see the love in your eyes. We're living a life. I'd hate to find things are not what they seem. Don't wake me up, let me dream. Let me dream. Oh, what a wonderful dream. We're in a land of romantic joy. We two alone, and you are all my own. I see the love in your eyes. We're in the sky. I'd hate to find things are not what they seem. Don't wake me up, let me dream. Ah, there we go, complete with the double ending. Indeed. And speaking of Don't Wake Me Up, Let Me Dream, and speaking of Dallas, I'm going to be enjoying a little bit of Noble Coyote coffee mug. Can you see that? Noble Coyote is run by two of the sweetest human beings you can think of, Kevin and Marta Sprague. He's a wonderful, we first got to know him, and we used to play at a place called the Balcony Club that's still up and running in Dallas, very much so. I actually invite you to go check it out sometime. Tell them Matt sent you. It won't, but just tell them that anyway. Anyway, so I remember one Sunday night, he and I were talking. He said, you know, I think I want to start a coffee roasting business. And 10 years later, here we are. He's got his coffee all around Dallas, including at Central Market. But you can still go pick some up at their headquarters down on Exposition in the Fair Park area, actually right across the street from Fair Park, which, by the way, is open most all the time, even when the fair isn't going on. So after you've got your morning on coffee and you're all got your go to the largest collection of Art Deco fair-type buildings anywhere. And that's a fact. That's a fact. 1936, it was built for the Texas Centennial, and it's going strong ever since. So this is, I forget what, this is some other kind of coffee, but it's in my Noble Coyote mug. Why am I drinking some other kind of coffee? Because I need to go pick up some there. Product placement. And speaking of product placement, ladies and gentlemen, there is the usual tip jar here. I know it's not put your request in, or put your tune, gosh, think, words, Matt, words. You can't put your money in a jar after hearing your request. You can do it anyway, and it's always appreciated. So, and I can't pin it because I don't have, this isn't an actual live broadcast. But anyway, so there you have it. Talking, let's get back to the music. Here's a good old Fats Waller tune. He didn't write it, but he played the heck out of it, that's for sure, called I Wish I Were Twins. I wish that I would, great big baby kids, I would love you, oh, twice as much as I do. I'd have 4 loving arms to embrace you. I'd idolize each time you. With two hearts twice as true. Now what could your poor lips do? When the point is to hear you say that I'm you great big babykins. How I wish I were twins. I could love you twice as much as I do. Ha! I wish that I were twins. I would love you all twice as much as I do. I'd have full loving arms to embrace you. For eyes can I face you. Well, with two hearts twice as true. Oh, what could your poor lips do? When the point is to hear you say that I'm yours. 'Cause you great big babykins. How I wish I were twins. I could love you twice as much as I do. There we go. I wish little Fats Waller number there. And Fats Waller, actually, just right outside the window, I can see the old Crosley plant, which was actually doubled as a radio station, WNI. And Fats Waller here in Cincinnati had a residency. He played a show called Moonlight Memories on the pipe organ. And if you know your Fats Waller, you know the pipe organ. Sometimes even said it was his favorite thing to do. Anyway, let's move along here. Let's do a waltz. Lovely waltz for all our dancing friends out there. I can't see you, but I know you're out there. And I'm all my Dallas pals that I just might see on this trip. It's a little tune for all of you folks that might be transplants somewhere that sometimes, especially with 2020, have been thinking about you could be back to that little street where the old friends meet. Heartsick, nothing seems. That's how I feel today. Hometown, my town, all calling me far away. It's just a little street meet. I'd love to wander back someday. To you, it may seem sort of tumbled down, but it means a lot to folks in my hometown. Oh, I'm rich or poor, I still feel sure I'm welcome as the flowers in May. It's just a little street where old friends meet and treat you in that same old way. Still feel sure I'm welcome as the flowers in May. It's a little street where old friends meet and treat you in that same old way. Oh, what a beauty there. A little street where old friends meet. One of those beautiful tunes we could have only have been given to us as a gift during those Depression years. That's a tough time for America. It was a good year for music. And actually, as I'm recording this, it is actually 1 year ago the great Ian Whitcomb passed away and left this mortal coil. He did leave behind many, many great recordings. And if you're a regular on my Thursday Night Live from the Parlor shows, you know that I always tip the hat to Mr. Whitcomb, because entertainer, a true walking encyclopedia of all things pop music, author, you name it, he did it all. There's nothing I can say that can add to it. Just all I will ask is go look up the great music of Ian Whitcomb and thank me later. England, that's right, and came to America Had a history and a original start as a rock and roll musician, right up there with the Beatles. But he decided to 80 and celebrate the great American musical past. That's right. And like I said, became a walking encyclopedia of all things pop. Well, I'm going to tip the hat now to another, Mr. Al Bowley. Here's a tune he recorded twice with Roy Fox as well as with Mr. Ray Noble. I always like the Roy Fox version, so that's what you're going to get. Here is Guilty. There's another. Is it a sin? Is it a crime? Loving you, dear, like I do. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty. Guilty of loving you. Maybe I'm wrong, dreaming of you. Dreaming the lonely night through. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty. Guilty of dreaming of you. What can I do? What can I say after I've taken the blame? You say you're through, you go your way, but I'll always feel just the same. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Loving you, dear, like I do. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty. And guilty of loving you. Gotta have that how they all end. That's right. That's right. Okay. Oh, coffee break here. A little coffee break. Hacha. All right. Product placement. Noble Coyote. Anyway, let's move along. Let's pick it up. Let's do a polka now for all you polka heads out there. Here's a good one, old-time polka, Dutchman-style polka called the Champion Valley. In the immortal words of Pee Wee Herman, I meant to do that. around the woodshed on that one a little bit. Put that one on the set list, Matt. It'll be fine. You play it all the time. Ah, baloney. Oh, well. Well, there it is. It's in the ether now. It's gone. And, I started well, and that's what Stephen Grappelli, the great fiddle player, used to say. He'd say, if you start well and you end well, the middle will look after itself. Hatza. Well, let's move along here. Moving along, let's get back to the early stuff, the 20s stuff, the trad jazz stuff. Here's a good one, little foxtrot for you called I Get the Blues When It Rains. I get the blues when it rains. The blues I can't lose when it rains. Each little drop that falls on my window pane always reminds me of the tears I shed in vain. I sit and wait for the sun to shine down on me once again. It rained when I found you, it rained when I lost you, that's why I'm so blue when it rains. I get the blues when it rains. The blues I can't lose when it rains. Each little drop that falls on my window pane always reminds me of the tears I shed in vain. I sit and wait for the sun to shine down on me once again. It rained when I found you, it rained when I lost you, that's why I'm so blue when it rains. There we go, I get the blues when it rains. Good old good one, 1928, I do believe. Wonderful, wonderful tune. Yes, wonderful, wonderful even. That's right, that's a tip of the hat to Lawrence Welk for all you kids out there. That's right. Well, speaking of rain, 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 rain. Speaking of rain, when I'm going to be down in Dallas, I do believe they're expecting some rain. That's what I hear. So, fortunately, one of those gigs, which was going to be outside, has a rain plan. They're going to be inside. That's right. In fact, the activities director, because it's actually at a very, very nice upscale retirement home. That's right. We were going to be playing outside in an amphitheater, and they have this cool, like, solar-powered, really nice keyboard thing, inside like a piano shell. But anyway, he called me the other day and he said, because of the chance of rain, we might have to move inside to our auditorium. And I wanted to know if your piano player would be all right with having to use our Steinway grand piano. So, oh, twist, twist. So, in honor of the weather, which certainly isn't going on here. It's bright and sunny here today. Anyway, but that can all change. That can all change. Here's a little tune in honor of the weather called Rain. My favorite song, I will point out. That's right. People always ask, what's your favorite song? And when your favorite song is a tune that most people have never even heard of, you just say, oh, I like them all. Here we go. Here's the verse. April showers overhead offer offer me a chance to protect her from the rain and cultivate romance. It's an opportunity, something to enjoy. Helter skelter, fly for shelter, I'm a lucky boy. Rain, let us cuddle while the rain pitter-patters on the pane, and we're alone. A chance to while away a dreamy afternoon, a lovely peaceful afternoon. No one can see us. Rain, gee, it's cozy in the rain. There's no reason to complain. She'll wait for you. You'll hold her hand, and then it's 10-1. You'll kiss her in the rain, 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 rain. That was key of D flat. Don't try that at home, kids. That includes me. Rain, written words and music by a fellow named Eugene Ford, along about 1927. So there's our two Rain songs. I Get the Blues When It Rains, which is a song all about musicians when their gigs are canceled. That's right. And that's a tune called Rain, in honor of the rain that we're expecting back in my hometown of Dallas, Texas. Which, by the way, that brings me up to our next point, our next commercial break. There is the PayPal there, paypal.me/Matt Tolentino, or you can find me on Venmo. It is Matt-Tolentino-1. That's right. And as you've probably guessed, I am not truly live tonight. No, au contraire. I am broadcasting transcribed because Thursday I will be in Dallas, Texas. That's right, because I have gigs there on Friday and Saturday. So I couldn't leave everybody hanging after a year and then some of doing every Thursday doggedly, sitting right here at the bench playing these tunes for you, all kinds of tunes for you. So I had to make a little something, so there you are. Don't say I never gave you nothing. So, taking a little time out of my day to make sure Thursdays keep on keeping on. That's right. Well, speaking of all kinds of music, I often, as you've heard a little bit earlier, I love to include the polkas and waltzes and the schottisches and things like that. So, and the motorcycles and all the things that you don't have to deal with in the evening. Anyway, so here's a lovely tune for you, written in Austria, I do believe, by a guy named Slavko Avsenik, who wrote a ton of good ones. This is called By the Lake, little waltz for you, but it's a quick one, dancers. Heads up. by the great late great Slavko Avsenik. That's right, who wrote a ton of good ones. I keep expecting the clock to say like 8:55 or something, because normally these shows are on Thursday evenings at 8 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock California time. And all I know about Australia time is my friends like Linton are drinking their morning coffee. So, hey, we've got that in common. Cheers to the coffee drinkers. And for everyone stateside, cheers to the coffee drinkers that have Kahlua in it. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Kahlua, maybe I should do something with a kind of a Mexican flair. That's right, because Cinco de Mayo is coming up. That's right. It'll be in May, which is next month, which is my birthday month. That's right. May 10th. That's right. So, yeah. If you wish to do an early birthday present, there you go. And so, yeah. Let's play something from Mexico. The unofficial March of Mexico. This is called Zacatecas, or as I'm sometimes called, Zacatacos. That was PC. perfect show, go to a movie. That's right. But anyway, Zacatecas. There we go. There we go. Hey, this is a quote-unquote live show. It may not be live, at 7 or 8 o'clock, but it is live in the sense that I'm just sitting down in front of the camera playing warts and all. That's right. You're not getting an edited show. That's right. No preservatives, no artificial colors, no fillers, none of that stuff. Just 100% music. That's right. That's right. Just a guy with his 1952 acoustic accordion playing tunes that I hope you folks will like. And if you do like the music, I hope that you will hit the PayPal and the Venmo there, and that way Dudak can have some treats, because he does his monthly tallies, and he knows that the new month is coming in, and he needs to have a full jar. That's right. He believes in starting the trip with a full tank. That's what he believes. He never told me so, but I can infer it. I can infer it. So let's get back to some more music for you here. More of the jazz stuff. Been playing music this whole time, but, switching things up, because that's what we do on Live from the Parlor. And if this is your first time here, well, hello and welcome. No, I will not start at the top for you, but I will say hello right now, and I'll invite you to join me every week at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for Live from the Parlor. This is the Parlor in my house in Cincinnati, Ohio. Ohio, the state that's high in the middle and round on both ends, as Bugs Bunny would say. So it's every week at facebook.com/Matt Tolentino 1927. And of course, tonight is also streaming on YouTube. I'm not smart enough to know how to do that the rest of the time, but when I pre-record, I'm a genius. So anyway, I hope you'll stick for tonight's show, and I hope you'll join me for the future ones. So let's keep rolling along. Here's a beauty of a tune from 1930 written by Doc Doherty called Confessin' That I Love You. That I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you, honest I do. Need you every moment, in your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny they're true. Will your answer really change things, making me blue? I'm afraid someday you'll leave me, saying can't we still be friends? If you go, you know you'll grieve me. All in life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I love you over again. we go. The Frank Skinner arrangement of Confessin' That I Love You. That's right. Confessin' for all the lovers, just in time for Valentine's Day. Hey, drink up, everyone. Remember, the more you drink, the better I sound. That's what we say at Hofbrauhaus. And it is true. It is true. Well, I talked about May is right around the corner, and after May comes June. And June is love time. But if Valentine's is not your thing, if you're more into Singles Appreciation Day, this one's for you. This is June time is love time for everyone but me. June time is love time for everyone but me. Tell me why, old moon up above, why can't I find someone to love? Sweethearts around me, all happy as can be. But June time is love time for everyone but me. June time is love time for everyone but me. Tell me why, old moon up above, why can't I find someone to love? Sweethearts around me, all happy as can be. But June time is love time for everyone but me. There we go for our Singles Appreciation Day crowd. That's right. blue, faded and torn, just a bundle of old love letters. I kiss each one, and though I'm pretending it's a beautiful play with an unhappy ending, weary and blue, I read them through. They're all I have now of you. Teardrops of mine between every line, just a bundle of old love letters. Teardrops of mine between every line, just a bundle of old love letters. Oh, from a movie I'm sure some of you have forgotten, Lord Byron of Broadway. That is called a bundle of old love letters for our Singles Appreciation Day crowd. Well, let's pick it up. Let's do something happy. Here's a good one called Sweet Sue. Every star above knows the one I love, Sweet Sue, just you. And the moon on high knows the reason why, Sweet Sue, just you. No one else, it seems, ever shared my dream, and without you, girl, don't know what I'd do. In this heart of mine, you live all the time, Sweet Sue, just you. Every star above knows the one I love, Sweet Sue, just you. And the moon on high, it knows the reason why, Sweet Sue, just you. No one else, it seems, ever shares my dream, and without you, girl, I don't know what I'd do. In this heart of mine, you live all the time, Sweet Sue, just you. Ha! Sweet Sue, yes indeed. Well, I got a few more tunes for you guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me here in the parlor. It's always mucho appreciated. That's right. Going back to Zacatecas there. But anyway, yes, thanks so much for hanging out. There's the PayPal, there's the Venmo. Or if you're in Dallas, or actually it's more like when I'm in Dallas, because you guys, a lot of you regulars who tune in every week, you're already there. So it's more like I'll be seeing you soon. Maybe I'll meet you for a late drink at the Balcony Club or something and request Melancholy Baby from Matthew Banks. We'll see. But in the meantime, first, a polka. Barbara. Alex Meixner. Wonderful, oh wonderful. The Barbara Polka. Yes, indeed, one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. Played by all the good polka bands. That's one that goes across the board, whether you're a Cleveland style or a polka band or the good old Dutchman style, oompa stuff. They all play it. It's kind of like out of nowhere in the jazz world. It doesn't matter if you're got a straw hat and a Shakey's vest, or you're one of those cool guys that hangs out at Cafe Vivace or something like that, and, with the beret and the sun, that everyone knows that too. And everyone knows Barbara Polka within that world. So there's just tunes that are standards within that community. And that's one of them, by golly. Well, I'm looking at the list, and it looks like I have two more for you guys. So again, thanks for hanging out here on the Parlor. If you wish to heckle me in real time, please join me each Thursday at facebook.com/MattTolentino1927. That's right, 1927, because I play all these good ones, as Louis Armstrong used to call them. So let's go back across the sea, over to Paris. In the early 1930s, there was a woman named Frehel, Frehel, and she was sort of a forerunner to Edith Piaf, and very much a little more on the body side, if you can imagine, and quite a storied life. Look her up. But anyway, she did some beautiful recordings, and she was popular for a couple of decades there. And then the tide changed, and Edith Piaf came in, and the rest is history. So here it is, a wonderful tune. If you've seen the movie Amelie, you might know it. And for like Susie and other folks out there, I know it's one of your favorites. Si tu n'étais pas là means if you weren't here with me. serais si tu n'étais pas là, if you weren't here with me. Well, thanks again for hanging out with me here at our pseudo live from the parlor. You could always heckle me, in those comments on Facebook and YouTube. That's right, twice over. Anyway, or join me for the real live from the parlor every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. California Time, and coffee time, Australia time. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you with the tune. This was a #1 seller for Mr. Paul Whiteman way back when, and it's called Whispering, written in 1920, and it's celebrating 101 years this year. How about that? So dedicate this to a friend of mine, Christopher Mayer, who taught me the Swedish words that I have promptly forgotten. Anyway, well, it's not so much that I've forgotten them, it's just much like the French, I have such respect for your cultures, I won't sing in your language. Take that. So anyway, here we go. Good one called Whispering. I'm Matt Tolentino. Thanks again. And Doodad, it's been pretty quiet. He is here in the parlor. He's just chilling out. Music to soothe the savage beast, I suppose. Here we go. Whispering. Honey, I have something to tell you, and it's worthwhile listening to. Put your little head on my shoulder so that I can whisper to you. I'm whispering while you cuddle near me. I'm whispering so no one will hear me. Each little whisper seems to cheer me. Oh, I know it's true, there is no one but you, dear. I'm whispering while you never leave me. Oh, baby, don't you leave me. Whispering of while you'll never grieve me. Whisper and say that you believe me. Whisper that you love me too. There we go, and that wraps up this Transcribed live from the parlor. Thanks again for joining me and Doodad. If you've enjoyed the music, join me each week at facebook.com/MattTolentino1927. And you can always hit up the PayPal and the Venmo, paypal.me/MattTolentino, or on Venmo, Matt-Tolentino-1. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week.